As we expected on this channel, the long-awaited, much hyped BBI Rally in Mombasa yesterday on January 25th, 2020 ended with lots of entertainment but no serious drama. An anticlimax for popcorn addicts. But for those who take politicians on their word, it ended with lots of confusion. Where people do not know exactly what is happening. For instance, what is the true stand of Team Tanga Tanga on the BBI? Because in Mombasa, leading Team Tanga Tanga principals said they were for the BBI. Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen even said Team Tanga Tanga are ready for an expanded executive. But on the other side of the country, at about the same time, Deputy President William Ruto continued with his harsh criticism of the BBI. And so we have a situation where the leader says something, and then the foot soldiers say something very different from what the leader is saying. But don't worry, we shall break down all that so that there's no confusion on this channel. But first, let us focus on the entertainment that went down at Mama Ngina Drive. Oh yes, the meeting was changed at the 11th hour, the venue of the meeting, from the Tononoka grounds to Mama Ngina Drive, or Mama Ngina Park, as it's called these days. Very beautiful, very popular spot in Mombasa. And at many points of Mama Ngina Drive, you can see the ferries crossing between Likoni and the main island. Of course, the scene of a very tragic incident last year, where a car plunged into the very deep waters of the channel. But you can also see the open ocean. In my view, this is a much more secure location than the Tononoka grounds, more so for the VIPs. It is also much easier to handle when dealing with crowd control, because you put a barrier here and there and you're good to go. In fact, this is why leading Team Tanga Tanga people had to jump through barriers to access the main dais. People like Nyali MP, Mohamed Ali. And then these Team Tanga Tanga leaders went and sat on seats that were not meant for them. So much so that the host, Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho, had nowhere to sit. But if anybody had done that to create a scene, they were in for a shock. Because Ali Hassan Joho brushed it aside and said he's the host. He doesn't mind. He can stand throughout the meeting. And then some humorous drama. A long entourage of vehicles, high-end vehicles, arrived at Mama Ngina. And everybody was sure BBI principal Raila Amolo Odinga had arrived. And the vehicle was given way and directed to the main dais. And everybody took their positions to welcome Raila. But guess who comes out? Migori Governor Okoth Bado. And then there was the dancing, which reminded us of NASA campaigns in the run-up to the 2017 presidential elections. Kumbe Her Excellency, the Governor of Kirinyaga, Anne Waiguru, can dance. Hizo moves, kuna club nyingi zilijua hazijui hizo siku, enzi zake. Anyway, let's now go into the politics. What is really going on here? How can you have DP Ruto saying something and then his foot soldiers saying the opposite? Very strange. Especially when you have Team Tanga Tanga leaders playing the usual political game of the BBI team. Jostling for positions in the dais and campaigning to be amongst the speakers. And then when given a chance, making politically correct speeches for the particular function. Now, I'm often criticized here for being biased and unbalanced when covering something that involves both Team Tanga Tanga and Team Keleweke. I, of course, don't agree with that view, but those people, of course, are very much welcome on this channel. to air their views, and especially views that are contrary to mine. That is okay. But I will never ignore the facts. For instance, DP Ruto in Trans Nzoia said the following, and I quote, "It is still too early to put the country in a political mood, the way leaders on the other side are doing. We have a mandate to work for our people and deliver the promises we made before we were elected." End of quote. What? Now. Let me ask you a few questions. Who started early campaigns for 2022? Was it Team Keleweke? Who was first to put the country into an election mood almost immediately after the 2017 presidential polls? Who? Was it Team Keleweke? Which side gave us the mantra, lazima deni ilipwe, referring to the agreement between Deputy President William Samoei Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013, where DP Ruto was supposed to support Uhuru for the presidency for 2 terms, and then in return, the president would support the deputy president for the same seat, the presidency, for 2 terms, starting with 2022. Who started this lazima deni ilipwe business? Which of course put the country immediately into high gear politics, 2022 politics. The deputy president must have forgotten that he is the one who put the country into a political election mode immediately after the 2017 polls, which were of course heightened after the March 2018 handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. And because he has forgotten, and also because he thinks we have forgotten, that is why he made this statement. There can be no other explanation. And also, the only reason why his foot soldiers are singing a different tune from him is because the new Team Tanga Tanga strategy seems to be to infiltrate the BBI team with the intention of throwing a spanner into the works at a future date. Because when you're sitting in the dais of a major rally like this, you can pick up a lot from how the BBI leaders are coordinating in the dais and relating to one another, and even from whispers you hear amongst them. You will not need to be a very observant person to notice that this governor has a problem with that MP just by sitting at the dais. Because if Team Tanga Tanga intentions were good, then their leader, the deputy president, should have said something like, "I'm happy that you have attended the BBI rally in Mombasa, that I'm represented by so and so and so and so. And I have sent them with my message of goodwill that will cooperate with the BBI and try and iron out thorny issues within the Building Bridges initiative." That is what the deputy president should have said, if all was well, and there were no hidden cards under the table as far as Team Tanga Tanga concerned. But that is not what the deputy president said. In fact, he used the opportunity in Trans Nzoia to fire barbs once again at the BBI initiative. Even as Mokomen joined Raila Odinga on the dais for a jig during that rally. And even as the Elgeyo Marakwet senator, the same man, referred to Raila Odinga respectfully as Baba in his speech, when only a few days ago he was calling the same Raila a conman. But apart from trying to infiltrate the BBI team during rallies, there is another reason why this move is quite a smart one. The very consistent, repeated criticism of the BBI by Team Tanga Tanga has somehow penetrated into the ground to ordinary Kenyans. In other words, Team Tanga Tanga has been successful in planting seeds of doubt into the minds of people. Very interesting. Over the last week or so, I've been doing a lot of traveling right across the country. And I've made it a point to take every opportunity I get to speak to ordinary Kenyans, to ask them what they think of the BBI. And I've been very shocked at the reaction and the response I've received from most Kenyans on the ground. Even in BBI strongholds, like Mombasa, and even in BBI strongholds, like Luo Nyanza, people are saying the same thing. They don't know what the BBI is. Hatujui hiyo ni nini na hatujaona hiyo kitu. There's no report. Nobody has seen the report. So I cannot say whether I support it or not because I don't know what it is. And I believe Team Tanga Tanga strategists are already aware of this. And therefore, the right move to make at that time, or a good move to make at that time, is to slightly withdraw, slightly pull out from the forefront of attacking the BBI, with the expectation that others will fill that void, and start asking questions about the BBI. And then, of course, Team Tanga Tanga will be very quick, to say that those opposing BBI are actually supporters of the Deputy President, which of course is not true. And as we all know, truth is not important in Kenyan politics. It is not. What is very important in Kenyan politics is perception. And sometimes you can create that perception with falsehoods and create a situation, a very crazy situation, whereby some Kenyans have completely forgotten that they were not able to do business before the handshake, that there was too much tension in the country before the handshake. Because let us be honest with ourselves, the BBI may not be good. The BBI may be evil. The BBI may have dangerous ulterior motives within it. Oh yes, all that may be true. However, that is very normal in politics. What do politicians do in our country ever, that has good motives, all through for the people, the ordinary Kenyans? You tell me. But having said that, the BBI is the only thing we have right now. And if you don't want the BBI, then I repeat again, give us an alternative. Give us a better option. So that even as Kenyans struggle to make a living in this very difficult economy, at least they can be able to do it in an environment of peace, where there are no political chaos. I think you can see that if the BBI was scrapped today altogether or collapsed, that would not be possible. If the BBI were to collapse today, we would have political chaos in Kenya. I hope you can see that. Because it is normal for politicians to be so selfish, so short-sighted in their ambition for high seats, so much so that they don't give a hoot for what happens to ordinary Wanjiko, or ordinary Wananchi in Kenya. But in my view, it is the height of hypocrisy to claim that you fight for the common man, and yet you're fighting very hard to create an environment where it will be impossible for the common man to survive. That is the height of hypocrisy, according to me. Instead, if you want to be more convincing that you care for the common man, create an alternative for us. Something that we can work with and still be able to look at ourselves in the mirror in the morning. Something like the Punguza Mizigo initiative. That was good. That was workable. That was something that we could work with. Team Tanga Tanga would do much better. Instead of criticizing the BBI, they would do much better fronting for the Punguza Mizigo initiative. That would make sense. And that would be much more effective than what they're doing currently. Because Punguza Mizigo is something that Kenyans need. That's what I believe. Those are my views. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.